Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hello. How's everybody doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, Nevaeh. Hi, Jazzy. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Hello, Mom. Hello, Christina. Hi, Nevaeh. How's it going? Hello, Kathleen. Hello, Nix. Hi, Jenny. Thank you very much. Thank you. Danielle, hello. Char, Evelyn, Amy, hello. Hello, Foreigner. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Britt. Thank you, Paula. Hi, Nancy. Oh, thank you, Alice. That's sweet of you. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Jazzy. I'm good, Madeline. How are you? Is my favorite fruit strawberries? I don't know if it is. I like strawberries. But what was my favorite fruit? Hi, Justine. What is my favorite fruit? Blackberries, maybe? Oh, no, apples. I love apples. Hi, Foltzy. Hi, Kate. Thank you, Leanne. Hello. Hello, Duck. What does that mean? I'm glad to hear that, Madeline. Hello, Aliha. Hello, Miss Terry. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Oregon. Hi, Abby. Thank you, Alice. That's sweet of you. Hello, Waluigi. Oh my gosh, Waluigi 8. Hello, I love that name. Wow. Got your date confirmed today. Oh, that's so great, Justine. Congratulations. Thank you, user52. Hello, Lizzie. So I actually went with the steakhouse just because it's a little bit closer. Also, I didn't realize, but the restaurant we're at, I'm just going to tell you the name because there's stuff about it. You'll see it's impossible for y'all not to know. It's called International Smoke. It's a steakhouse, although there's no steak for lunch. So kind of a steakhouse, at least for lunch. The proprietors of this restaurant are two people. One is Michael Mina, who's like a pretty well-known restaurateur, and then someone named Ayesha Curry. Do y'all know who Ayesha Curry is? I guess based on the last name. Um, oh, thank you, Jen. But this is Steph Curry's wife's restaurant. So I figured it would be cool to come here because it's Steph Curry's wife's restaurant. As far as I know, it's her only restaurant. It's called, like I said, it's called International Smoke. So if you want to go look at the lunch menu, you can. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Barb. You love Steph Curry. Well, that's where we're eating. I'm assuming Steph Curry's eaten here before. You love the fit today. Hi, Alyssa. But the necklace is cute. Thank you. Strawberries. Yeah, I like the strawberries. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so, yeah. Thank you, Blue. Did I find the big clue yet? Still haven't found it. Still looking for it. What am I going to do? Have to keep looking for it. Hello from the UK. Hi, everyone. Any plans this summer? Oh, yeah. Next month, we're going to Disney World, y'all. Disney World next month. Full week of streaming at Disney World. Isn't that exciting? At this point, you eat out just to make sure everyone misgenders you. Oh, God, that must be true. You said it. It must be true. Hello, everyone. Come to Ireland? I would love to. Yeah, another Disney trip. Get excited. Get excited. Hello, Nathan. How is my healing? My healing's going pretty good. Hello, Banana Bread. I should try straightening my hair. I've done it before. You can see pictures of me with straightened hair, but it's I don't know. I like it the way it is. Thank you, Melly. Who am I terrorizing today? Everyone. Yourself included. Thank you, Leanne. I'm pushing 30. Oh, I'm 32. Hi, Vamp Love. How's it going? Thank you very much. What's hello, Sin? Thank you, everyone. Anyone have any like legit questions that I can answer? When will I be able to wear glasses again? I hope soon. Hello, Caitlin. Mods are here. Don't worry. Thank you, wifey. Hello, Angel. How's everyone doing? What are we eating today? We're at like a kind of a steakhouse. I guess is it a steakhouse though? It kind of feels more like. Actually, I'm not sure if this is a steakhouse. I'd have to look at the dinner menu. There's no steak, so I don't think we can call it a steakhouse. It's called International Smoke. It kind of gives like Southern cooking vibes, plus international, like Asian flavors. It kind of seems like a Southern Asian fusion restaurant. That seems to be, and we'll read the menu in a bit. Thank you, Aliana. You blame me for what's going on in the UK. That has given me a lot of power. Where'd I get the top from? From Cider. How are my bangs so curly? I don't know. It's just the way my hair is. Would I ever try a different hair color? Sure. What hair color do you think I should try? Why did I pretend to be Miss Rachel? Because it was a good video. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. That's a strong rebuke. There's been a lot of talk recently about people talking about how Jesus would have been like very much against MAGA and all that stuff, and I find that a very amusing conversation because I agree. My necklace is pretty. Oh no, it's not a diamond. It's all, I think, cubic zirconium. I think the chain might be sterling, but it's like I think a cubic zirconium ruby. Yeah, red suits me. Thank you. Do I take estrogen? I do take estrogen. Yes, once a week, every Monday. Am I an atheist? I would call myself more of an agnostic. I don't like not believe in God, but I also don't believe in. Does that make sense? It's kind of like I have no reason to believe God does or doesn't exist, and I just don't think very hard about it. What am I going to order? I'm not sure. Am I going to do voice feminization? I like my voice, and I don't think it really needs to be any different than it is right now because I like it. Maybe I will one day train my voice to be a little higher pitched, but I don't know. What's my opinion about the hate I'm getting? I think it's dumb, but I'm at peace with it, more or less. It doesn't feel good, but it is what it is. I wanted to say I support you. Thank you, Jared Jenkins. I appreciate it. What age did I transition? At 27 years old, and I am now 32, so it's been 4 or 5 years. What's my ethnicity? I am like Eastern European and Italian. Where are my earrings from? Where are my earrings from? I don't know. I want to say like Amazon or something. I feel like you can get these kinds of earrings in a lot of places. Hello from Bam. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Michelle supports me as well. Appreciate it. Hello, Lily. I'm loving this look today. Thank you, Chantal. What was my I made it moment in terms of transition? Obsessed with the top. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Dream location to travel is probably Japan, so I can go to Tokyo Disney. I would love to do that. By the way, is the audio okay today? I know is it better if it's like closer to my face? Is it better like this, or is it okay on my sleeve here? It's a little far away, but it should be okay. Right? Y'all tell me. What's my response to people saying that I target trans kids in my content? I don't. I mean, I don't. I certainly look to engage parents of trans kids. But my content is for adults. How much do I pay for meals? It depends. Why not estrogen patches? Estrogen patches I know work just fine. So do the daily oral ones. But I do injections because it just works best for me. I've found the best results on that. What's my opinion on the UK Supreme Court ruling? I go to Japan Friday. That's awesome. Good for you. Can you drop Riz tips? I don't think that I have a single Riz tip in my body. I'm so sorry to tell you. Maybe a beef tip, pork tip. Because they have rib tips here, but not a Riz tip. Don't let the hate ever get to you. Thank you. I'm a parent of a trans kid. He's 20. That's awesome. Thank you for supporting them. What exactly was the big clue? I don't know. I still haven't figured out. I mean, that's the point. If it's a clue, you have to know. You can't know what it is before you find it. So I'm still looking for it. What do I think about the Pope? I don't know. I have no idea. I saw that it happened, and that's it. Do I know Dana? I don't know who that is. I'm just saying, you're so pretty. I've never hated things. Thank you very much. What do I have to say about the reactions to my Disneyland cake pop video? Hate all you want. I stand by that video. I think it's a great video. One of my best, perhaps. Will I ever go to Europe after what the Supreme Court ruled? Well, it's UK, not Europe. So, I mean, UK is in Europe, but that's one small piece of Europe. Hello, Carly. How's my time visiting my friend? It was good, Jesse. It was good. Why is Blair White obsessed with talking about her? Because I poked at her a little bit. Someone said yesterday that she made a response video. I have not seen it yet. I'm assuming it'll make its way to my feed eventually. Thank you, Tyler, for subscribing. Cheers, my friend. I changed the goal to 800, by the way. Why'd I do that in Disneyland? Because it was a really good idea for a video, and I stand by that. What happened to my nose piercings? I had to take them out when I got FFS. What did I poke at? Oh, I poked at Blair White. I made a video about her. Basically just like a video talking about how awful she is, because she is. Yeah, so someone said that she made a response video. I haven't seen it yet. I'm assuming it'll get to me eventually. If things are tight right now, why go to Disney World? Well, I mean, financially, I'm hoping that it's worth it. In terms of like, you know, the content I'm able to make might make it even profitable. But I also just want to go to Disney. And I think y'all want to go to Disney, so that's why. When's my birthday? January 31st. Did I always know I was trans? No, that happened at 27. Hello, Rachel. Let's see. What's my dog? His name is Nugget. Do I ever straighten my hair? I have. Thought Florida wasn't safe. You know, in the past, I've been very hesitant to go to Florida. I weighed it quite a bit. Like, do I want to go to Florida? Because it's really not safe right now. But Orlando itself is not, it's not the same as like the more rural parts of Florida. I'm staying on Disney property. So once I'm there, I'm there. I'm probably not going to leave the Disney bubble. So as far as safety goes, like, I really want to go to Disney World. So I'm going to hope for the best. And I'm also not going to be alone. At least for some of it. Can you tell us about bottom surgery? My friend is having it. I want to care for her properly. Well, I mean, honestly, I haven't had it, so I can only tell you what I heard about it. And she or they should be the one to tell you like what they need. But it is a very intense recovery, and you need to make sure that that person has pretty much around-the-clock care for a while, like for the better part of a month or more than a month. Hello, Elvia. One of my friends who had it, I kind of witnessed her recovery, and she had, I think her sibling came and stayed with her for an entire month, because it's really not easy. Yeah. Do I have another job other than videos? No. Content creator full time. Hello, Snow. Hello, J Money. Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you. Like my top. Thank you very much. Have I tried lip gloss? I have lip gloss, but I didn't wear it today. You may absolutely ask a question. Why am I making kids learn about being trans? That's a really great question. Now, first off, I want to be clear that my content is for adults. If a kid happens to see it, that's fine, but it's for adults. Why do I want kids to understand what it means to be trans in general? Because I didn't know. If I had known sooner, like the definition of a transgender, being transgender, I would have potentially known sooner. Kids need to know so that if that applies to them, they can start that process. And even if they're not trans, it's important to know so that if they have a trans friend, they can understand, or trans family member, or whatever it may be. Okay. I think we're good to go. I'll give it another second. If anyone has a good question, please do ask before I turn off the comments. Is addressing you as ma'am proper pronouns? Sure. Yeah, or you can just say Lily. I don't need to be called ma'am. Like, that's maybe a little too formal for me. But just she. I'm a lifeguard at Disney. Cool. What did I do prior to college? I worked in tech. My last job before was in like San Francisco tech. A lot of good questions coming through. Why do I have to be labeled cis? Says Kate. A really great question. So cis is the opposite of trans. I'm assuming that if you're asking this question and you're saying, why do I have to be labeled cis? That means you're not trans. These two things are opposites of each other, right? Just like you can't have left without right, and you can't have right without left, right? If you say right, but there's no opposite, then it has no meaning. Up needs down to mean anything. Down needs up to mean anything. If you are not trans, you are cis, right? It's not like there's trans and normal, because that means there's something wrong with trans people, and that's not true. If you're not trans, we need a word to say not trans. I guess you could say not trans, but why not just make a word for it, right? So the opposite of trans is cis. Just like the opposite of left is right. There's no one that's better than the other. like left isn't better than right. They just are directions. In the same way that trans isn't better than cis and cis isn't better than trans. They simply are. There's no value attached to them. A lot of times people be like, well, what about biological woman versus trans woman? Biological implies that there's something superior, right? That they're like inherently a woman as opposed to a trans woman who isn't, which is not true. So we don't use the word biological. The opposite of cis is trans and vice versa. So if you're upset about being called cis, I would ask you, please, actually, I want to know. Raise your hand if you're someone who's upset. You can do a little raise hand emoji or something. Let me know if you're upset at being called cisgender. If that's you, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm not trying to. I just want to know. For those of you in the chat, I see KB, Carmen, Coley. Okay, Nadine. A lot of people. Okay, good. Totally fine. For those of you who are raising your hands right now, do you feel like you have a good working definition of the word cis? If I asked you and put you on the spot, any of you who raise your hand, like, can you tell me what cis means? Like, if I put you on the spot, you say you don't like it, okay. Tell me what it means to you first, because there's a definition, but I have a feeling that the actual dictionary definition is not the same thing as what you have like internalized that word as. Because all cis is a Latin prefix, just like aqua means water, or peri means around, P-E-R-I. All these prefixes, cis means on the same side of. So like a transcontinental flight means on the opposite side of the country, one flying from one side of the country to the other. Even though we don't use cis in this way, a ciscontinental flight means you're staying on the same side of the continent. You know what I'm saying? So if you are someone who's upset with the word cis being applied to you, ask yourself why. Because all it means is the opposite of trans. It's not a slur. It's not a diminutive thing. It's not anything that's meant to make you feel lesser or anything at all. I will also remind you that in the 80s, when the mainstream was just learning about what it meant not to be trans, but to be gay, right? The idea of like a gay man, especially because of the AIDS crisis, was at the forefront of a lot of people's thinking. Like, oh my God, gay people exist, right? A lot of people learned this. So believe it or not, in the 80s, there were some people who got really upset when the word straight started getting thrown around. Okay, because gay people, we learned exist. We need an opposite for that, right? Just if we learn that left is a direction, we need to also define right. If we learn that up exists, we need to define down. We learn that gay exists, we need another word. What's not gay? We can't just say not left mean right. We can't just say not up and mean down. We have to say up and down. We need a word for it. So people were upset about gay existing in the first place, and therefore they were upset at being called straight, right? Like, don't lump me in with these people. I'm just normal, because it suggested that gay people are valid, right? If there's an opposite of the word, just like if trans people exist, right? So do cis people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the existence of cisgender people implies that transgender people are valid, right? So people don't want to be called cis for that reason. Really, at its core, it is a knock against the existence of trans people, right? Don't call me cis because trans people don't exist. Don't call me cis because I think I'm normal and trans people are weird, right? That's really the core psychology involved here. Does that make sense? Why does biological offend me? From NJP, why does biological offend me? So gender and your body parts aren't linked. You might think that they're linked, right? Because we're kind of taught in some ways that they are linked, right? If you have a certain body part, that means you're a man. If you have a certain body part, that means you're a woman. But actually, that's not true. What we have is a correlation, okay? It's different. When someone has a P, which is what I have, usually, usually is the key word, usually they are a man. Not always. When someone has a V, usually they're a woman. but not always, okay? We see this correlation, but that doesn't mean that your P decides you're a man or your V decides you're a woman. People who have a P, like myself, can be a man, can be a woman. It could be neither. Okay? So why does biological offend me? Because biological implies that there's some sort of sanctity, right? That you are someone who was just born this way, right? That, oh, trans women, they're kind of like, the subtext is pretending, right? Like not really. But like biological people, oh, well, they were just born into it. They're like the purebloods, right? As opposed to like the fakers over there, right? Like that's the implication. But that's not true. Okay, I've always been a woman from day one. Did I know the whole time? No. It took me a second to realize, as it does for plenty of trans people. But it doesn't mean I'm any less of a woman, right? Biology has nothing to do with it. So to say biological, it's really just kind of like a complicated way injecting like science into it that doesn't really exist to make it sound a certain way, right? So a lot of times people will use the acronym AGP, which is autogynephilia, as a way to medically dismiss trans people. To say like, well, I have this medical term that says that you don't exist, right? I can say the word biological, which means that you're not really a woman, right? And bringing in these words, this lexicon of science-based evidence, which is really nothing, to justify your bigotry. Does that make sense? So again, not biological. No one is a biological woman. I mean, you could say that anyone who identifies as a woman is a biological woman, but even that's not really. That's kind of nothing. So does that make sense? Also, we got a really sweet, like a really generous gift. I want to take a moment to recognize this. I'll keep the chat on for a second, just because. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's actually a question here, so I'm going to read it as well. But first off, please throw some gas tank emojis out, because Caroline sent $100, $100, which pretty much pays for this meal, based depending on what we get, but probably pays for the meal. So first off, thank you, Caroline. Oh my gosh. Let me read your comment so I can answer your question. Caroline says, hello, Lily. I believe that when a young person says they are trans, we need to listen to them. I agree. It's much harder to transition after puberty hits due to hormones, etc. Do you agree? Yes. My brother transitioned before his teen years, which was beneficial for him. With a hand heart emoji. Love ya. Wow. Well, Caroline, before I dig into this, because I want to, thank you for, oh my gosh, $100 of a gift. That's huge. Wow. You are awesome. This stream exists because of gifts like that. So you know that. I want everyone else to know that. If no other gifts come through this stream, which, happens sometimes, but know that you have single-handedly, so far today, kept the gas in the tank, and so that the engine, which is me being all over the city of San Francisco and so on, running. So cheers. I love you. Now let me answer your question. You said that you believe that young people, when they say they're trans, that we need to listen to them because it's much harder to transition after puberty hits due to hormones. Do I agree? And your brother transitioned before puberty, which was beneficial for him. Right. So absolutely couldn't agree more. I learned I was trans at 27 years old. Okay. Puberty had come and passed by that point. Puberty, for anyone who's not in the know, starts at around 10 or so, and usually by like 18, 19 has done most of what it's going to do, maybe into your early 20s, depending. Testosterone puberty, which is what I went through, just the way that my body, its default settings were on testosterone, did a bunch of stuff to me, right? It made me probably taller than I would have been. It made my voice lower. It made my facial features more traditionally masculine, so a more protruding brow, Adam's apple, jaw being a little bit more, again, traditionally masculine. Over time, even though this doesn't happen during puberty, but if you eventually, with testosterone, you will get a receding hairline. It made me very hairy, and my Italian roots made sure of that, both not just on arms, but everywhere. Um, it completely changed my body. Okay. Now, if I had known I was trans before this all happened, right, say when I was like 10 or younger, I would have been able to sidestep this damage to my body. Right now, you might not think of it as damage, but I can tell you that for me it is, because all of the things that testosterone puberty did to my body um, has been hugely traumatic. Right? Even when it was happening, I didn't have the words to put it to words, but I was not happy. Right? It was like my body is changing in a way that I'm not interested in, and I don't know why, but I don't like it. Um, to the point that once puberty was done, I didn't like to look at myself. I didn't like the way that my body had grown. It caused a lot of what's called gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is the core thing that all trans people suffer from. And the only cure to gender dysphoria is to transition. Now, gender dysphoria can be lessened significantly if you pre-puberty are able to get on hormone blockers. Okay, and it sounds like Caroline's brother got on hormone blockers before puberty happens, because for trans women, you're trying to avoid a testosterone puberty. For trans men, which it sounds like Caroline's brother is, you're trying to avoid an estrogen puberty, which, what I would have liked to go through, I didn't get to go through, which was, I wish that my body had grown in a more traditionally feminine way, right? But that said and done, I'm now left as a 27-year-old person with a hugely hairy body, deep voice, etc., receding hairline, and there's so much to be done that really you can't turn back the clock all the way. It's just no way. My body is the way it is. It will never be truly the way that it would have been if I had gone through estrogen puberty. I wish I had. I so wish I had. And I look at the kids who are transitioning today, kids who have access to puberty blockers, whose parents are supportive, and I say, wow, I'm a little bit jealous because I wish that I'd been able to do that. But also, I'm so happy to see kids living their lives, living their truth, I guess I should say. Because those kids, on the whole, are going to be so much happier in their lives. They're going to be suffering, maybe happiness is definitely part of it, but they're going to be suffering so much less with gender dysphoria, right? A great example, and I know I point to this person a lot as an example, but look at Hunter Schafer. Okay, if you don't know who she is, Google her. You've probably seen her in movies. She was in this horror movie last year called Cuckoo. She's going to be in the new Blade Runner movie. She's great. She was in Euphoria. She transitioned at an early age. She got in there before puberty and was able to gently nudge her puberty in the direction that was affirming to her, right? It's kind of like, it's not like you're like cutting off your body to like some essential thing. No. You're gently nudging it so it grows in a slightly different way. That's really all it is. It's not harmful. She did that, and look at her now, right? First off, you might never have known she was trans, which is pretty cool. I think it's so important that kids have access to gender affirming care. It is actually, in my opinion, and hopefully in your opinion, abuse to deny. It's abusive to deny a child hormones and puberty blockers. If you are someone who is unwilling, it's even though it's, the example I'm about to drop is not exactly the same. It's a little bit of a shorter time frame. Denying a child's gender affirming care is like denying them any other medicine they need. Okay, you could point to antibiotics. You could point to like an asthma medication. Your child is suffering from something, right? And they need medical intervention. If you deny them a medical intervention, no matter what it is, it could be a broken arm, it could be asthma, it could be whatever, they could be diabetic. It doesn't matter. They need something, right? And you have to help them. And if you don't, that's abuse. No one would know. Like if you were someone whose child was diabetic and you denied them insulin, no one would disagree that you were abusive if you denied them insulin, right? I'd encourage you to look at it the same way with trans kids. If they are suffering from gender dysphoria and you deny them access to gender affirming care, that's abusive. That's abusive. So absolutely, absolutely, it's important for kids to have access to these things. I wish I had had access to these things. Caroline, I'm so happy your brother did. Um, and you know that these are the kinds of things that keep me going when I see, there's this family I know who has a trans kid, and that kid is very much, on path to have their puberty nudged the correct way. And I just see that kid, really just like on Facebook or whatever. I see them every once in a while, picture them living a happy life, and it makes me happy to know that there is a generation of kids who have the support, who are are going to suffer less because we need to take care of our kids, protect trans kids. All right. Let's go ahead and read the menu. What do you say? Let's read the menu. We got it. Thank you, mods. So once again, this is called International Smoke, this restaurant. This is, I believe, like a home cooking, like a Southern cooking Asian fusion restaurant that is owned partially by Ayesha Curry. Okay, she is Steph Curry's wife, and this is her restaurant in San Francisco. So there are starters, there are mains, there are desserts, and there is a business lunch. Yes, few is correct. Hello, Michaela. I believe, let me make sure that all the things on the business lunch are also on. Okay, there's a soup. We'll just read it all. We'll read it all. Okay. Starters. That was intense. Don't know how you do it. I just keep talking. That's all it is. We have Ayesha's fresh baked cornbread, 2 pieces with a red Thai curry butter. Sounds good. Let me know if you need more mods. Thank you, Nancy. I think everyone survived. It is much more peaceful now. But there's a difference between physical health and mental health. Therapy is required, not HRT. Incorrect. Ooh, incorrect. To completely silo physical and mental health as like things that don't interact with each other are so that is so short-sighted. And also, like, my physical health is better now that my mental health is better. My physical health is better because of estrogen in my body. Like, period. These two things are there's no like raising one without the other. If a kid is trans, you don't just throw them in therapy and hope for the best. Like conversion therapy, absolutely not. You get the kid the care they need. Okay, they have Ayesha's fresh baked cornbread with red Thai curry butter. It's $9. They have Peking smoked pork belly bao buns, 2 pieces for $19. Hello, sir. That's pickled cucumber, scallion, pork rind, and barbecue hoisin. Because a lot of kids could misconstrue. Well, first off, we're not talking about sexuality. And if you are someone who believes that a kid doesn't know what they're talking about when they tell you they're trans, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's not like a kid is going to say, hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm trans. And then the next day they're on the operating table. That's not how this works, right? In fact, it's a process that happens over months and years, right? If a kid says, I'm trans, I would like to be called Sarah from now on, then you call them Sarah. And it's not like a week later you start them on hormones. It's not like a month later you start them on hormones. You need to see persistence, insistence, and consistency. These are 3 things we need to see before we make any sort of decisions for a child, right? You can't just say, oh yeah, they said they're trans, so they're, let's just get them on hormones the next week. You have to see the kid living as a trans person consistently. They have to insist that they are trans over and over again, and they have to persist as that trans person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if to deny a child access to gender affirming care just because you, Noah, got mixed up is incredibly short-sighted. Incredibly short-sighted. We're not saying that we're rolling out kids into the operating room the moment they tell you they're trans. No one's in favor of that. Not one person. Okay? It's not how it works. Okay? Now, of course, if a kid tells you they're trans, you're going to honor that and say, hey, Great, let's maybe get you some new clothes, maybe try a new name. And then they live as that person. They live as themselves, hopefully, right? And if a week down the line they say, actually, I don't think so, you say, okay, no worries, and then you switch back. But after 3 years, you believe the kid because you've seen the persistence, insistence, and consistency. The three PIC, the important things that you need to see. Does that make sense? Genuine question: how do you feel about trans women saying they have PCOS? I've never heard of that before. Also, it's impossible because trans women don't have ovaries, and PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So, if a trans woman says they have PCOS, they are incorrect. Not saying that either. I'm just saying kids could experiment and take time to decide. Of course, I don't think anything I'm saying is disagreeing with what you're saying, unless you think something is. But I don't know. Okay. Love you too, Soren. You're all good, Sammy. Hello. All right. They've got the smoked pork belly buns. They've got tahina roasted cauliflower with golden raisins, pistachios, pomegranates, and fried shallots. They have, and they said this isn't on the menu just yet. Am I still visiting my friend? No, not anymore. I mean, I think you are being short-sighted. What you were saying was very short-sighted. Thank you. I've seen a couple of trans women saying they have it. Yeah, it's not true. And you don't have ovaries. I'm sorry you don't have ovaries. I don't have ovaries either. But you can't say you have PCOS if you don't have ovaries. That's just silly. Are you experiencing some of the same symptoms as PCOS? Perhaps. But symptoms don't mean that, like, if you have the symptoms of a cold, you might have a cold, but you might have allergies. It could be different things. Okay. They have Nashville hot Tokyo fried chicken, ginger sake marinated chicken, tamari pickle, and sriracha mayo. Now, they said their shipment hasn't gotten here yet, so we'll see. Oh, thank you, sorry. What's my absolute favorite meal to eat? I don't know. That's a really tough one. They have grilled broccolini with a chili garlic crunch. They have a black truffle Caesar salad with sweet onion crema, garlic streusel, and truffle vinaigrette. They also have a Waldorf salad with green apple, red grapes, and poppy seed yogurt dressing. And you can add chicken, salmon, or a filet onto any of those. So those are all interesting. I mean, the two things that stick out to me, 3 if they had the fried chicken, but it looks like they don't. Turns out I sent money to a scammer. Oh, I'm sorry. You can usually get that back if you message the app soon enough. I'm just saying, when a kid comes to you saying they're trans, I would come from a curious perspective. See, I think that's incorrect, though. I think you should come at it from a, okay, cool, and believe them. Why wouldn't you? There's no harm in believing them. If anything, it's going to build trust that if a kid says something to you, they know that you'll believe them, right? That doesn't mean that you're going to get them on hormones the next day. That's not what that means. But you can believe a kid. Kids are smarter than you think. Kids know the difference, and like, oh, well, what about a kid? My kid identifies as a dinosaur. Kids understand the difference between play and their genuine, like, identity that they are building in real life. They understand. Thank you. Who subscribed? Who was that? Remain classy. Thank you for subbing. Hello, hello. There's no harm in asking and working through how they feel. Sure, but that's different than believing them. You can say, awesome, cool, tell me what you're feeling, right? But that doesn't mean that you're not believing them. I'm a mom whose child thought they were trans and turns out they weren't. Cool. I would never question my child's feelings. You just have to explore. Absolutely. I didn't thank you for subbing. I'm sorry I missed it, Soren. Was it today? I was on my soapbox today. I apologize. Okay. Let's also look at the mocktails. There's one with grapefruit that I would order, but it has grapefruit and grapefruit soda in it, which is very sad. They have a Raspberry Fields mocktail that has raspberries, lemon, and simple syrup. It's a little bit plain. They have a New Year, New Me, which has Lear's Dry London, which is a non-alcoholic spirit with yuzu and tonic, and then Turning a New Leaf, which is Ritual Tequila Alternative, lime, passion fruit, and Amalfi spritz, which sounds pretty tasty. They didn't say not believing them. They would be curious to understand better. I think there's a difference. I think there's a big difference. You can believe them and ask questions, or you can be curious because you don't believe them. It sounds like Noah is implying that Noah wouldn't believe them to begin. Hi. Yes, I had a question. So between New Year, New Me, and turning a new leaf, which would you say?
Turning a new leaf.
Perfect.
It's really refreshing, so it's pretty awesome.
Excellent. Okay. I'll start with that.
Tokyo chicken is back. Okay?
It's back. Okay, okay, okay. So between the cornbread, the bao buns, and the fried chicken.
Oh, those are like our three.
Those are the. I mean, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. They all sound so good.
They all are delicious. So the cornbread is Ayesha's own recipe.
Okay.
So people really enjoy it. There's a little bit of spice to it with jalapenos in there, which is a nice little kick.
Yeah.
The bao buns, one of the key things is we smoke them. Okay. So you get this really good like
the bao buns themselves.
We put them in a glass brioche and it's smoked. So it gives you a little bit of
at the table?
Yes. So you get a really cool table presentation. And then the Tokyo chicken, I mean, it's little bites of fried chicken, which you can't go wrong with.
Can't go wrong
with Chipotle spicy mayo on the side. Got a good little kick to it.
Okay.
All three of them are delicious.
I like the idea of the bao buns.
Okay.
But I like the cornbread as well. Would you say that, like, is there any main that's signature? Because I could just go cornbread, then buns, then fried chicken.
So off the mains, the sticky ribs are really good.
Sticky ribs. Yes. How sweet are they?
They're kind of like right in the middle.
Okay.
It's not like overly sweet, but they definitely have a nice sweetness or tanginess, which I really enjoy.
Okay.
The burger, you can't go wrong with. It's very popular.
Sure.
And like I said with the Tokyo chicken, anything with fried chicken, like the chicken sandwich, has a little bit of spice to it.
Probably the chicken sandwich sticks out to me the most.
That's probably going to be, I mean, you can't go wrong with the fried chicken sandwich.
Right.
I really enjoy ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how about we start with the bao buns, please. Okay. And then I guess the crispy chicken sandwich is probably what I would want most.
And it comes with our duck fat fries, too.
Okay.
So the duck fat fries is duck fat oil, a little garlic, a little
duck
rosemary.
Fat fries.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Cotton, do you and me?
Could I hold on to this, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And then no food allergies to worry about?
Nope.
Okay.
Just grapefruit.
Oh, grapefruit?
Not even really an allergy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I gotcha.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not what I was implying at all. Look, if your kid told you, Noah, that they were trans, and you believe them, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. It sounds like, from what you were saying, that because you were someone who thought they might be trans and then realized they weren't, that maybe you would project onto them. You know what I'm saying? You should come from a stance that validates their feelings, but also ask why. No. Absolutely not. You don't ask why someone is trans, because if they're trans, there is no why. There is no why. Why am I trans? I don't know. No one says, well, I'm trans because I decided. That's not how it works. Okay? I get that you found out that you weren't actually trans. I get it. But a lot of kids are. Okay? And just because you had that experience doesn't mean it applies to every other kid. Okay? You don't say, why are you trans? Why do you think you're feeling this way? Right? They're feeling that way. Period. They don't have an answer as to why. Now, you can help them explore those feelings, but the last thing you want to do is, even by just asking questions, is imply that you don't believe them. You can ask questions without doing that. Ask what makes them believe they're a woman. No. You can ask them about symptoms. You can say, what are you feeling? But don't ask why you're feeling, because no one can ever say why they're feeling something. They are. Well, I guess you can say, like, why am I angry because I haven't, or why am I grumpy because I haven't had food? But what I'm trying to say, Noah, is that when you are questioning your child, make sure that it doesn't come off as like grilling, right? As like you know, ask them like, yeah, explore, absolutely, right? But it sounds like you're projecting onto this kid, okay? You know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? I'm not digging this. Your daughter said she was misguided. Okay. All right, troll. Goodbye. Instead of asking why, how can I help? This is a much better way of doing it. Like, how can I help, right? If a kid says you're trans, be like, well, why do you think you're trans? Right? That to me feels like I don't believe you. If a kid tells you, Mom, I'm trans, be like, great. What would you like me to call you? And you can ask how they came to that conclusion, but don't ask why. Right? It's clear to me, Noah, that you're not here to have like a good faith conversation. It sounds like what you're trying to do is A, project your own experience onto a kid, and B, without really admitting it to yourself, not believe the kid, right? It sounds like you're not believing the kid because in your life, maybe someone shouldn't have believed you. You're saying these things, Noah, but we're not agreeing on something very important, which is, do you believe the kid? Do you believe the kid? The answer is yes, always. Do I wear colored contacts? I don't. What makes you think that and have a conversation with them? Sure. But you have to believe them. I think by asking why, you're trying to get, no. We're not asking why. You can ask what, but not why. There is no why to being trans. There is no why. You don't say, I'm trans because. You can say, I feel gender dysphoria in these different ways, but there is no why. If we had a why, things would be different, but there isn't. There isn't. You can still ask why, but there isn't an answer. When you ask someone why, first off, there is no answer. And B, asking someone why, like, why are you trans? If someone asked me that question, I'd be like, well, A, I have no answer. And B, like, why are you asking me that question? Because it sounds like you just don't believe I'm trans. I can agree with why. I can agree how the why can invalidate the feelings, but is it wrong to be curious? Not at all. It's not wrong to be curious. But asking why, you're asking a question that has no answer when you say why. There is no why. There is what. What are you feeling? But not why are you feeling it. Why am I trans? Fate? God? Chance? I don't know. A kid, and if I don't have an answer, a kid definitely doesn't have the answer. You can ask what. You can absolutely be curious, and you can help them answer those questions on their own, like what they're feeling. But when you say why, you are setting up that kid, A, to say, I don't know, and B, potentially feel like you don't believe them. What beliefs, Noah? What beliefs? Asking why is invalidating and confusing for adolescents who are trying to find out where they're, like, what would you do if I sat you down and said, why are you cisgender? You don't know. Yeah, that's a great one. It's taught in parenting classes. It's best not to ask why, but listen and offer help. I'm not saying that you can't sit this kid down and, have an exploratory conversation with them. I think that's the right thing to do, actually. I would encourage you to do that. But be careful, because if you ask questions that suggest you don't believe them, you are losing the trust of your kid, and that kid feels less supported by you, okay? So the best thing you can do is, step one, as a parent, independent of the kid, believe them. Believe them. Thank you, Stella, for subscribing. Believe the kid on day one, okay? That doesn't mean you're rolling them into the OR, okay? Believe them and ask questions from that point of view. If you believed that your kid was trans, you wouldn't ask why. Because it doesn't matter why. First off, there is no answer, but oh, Noah. I sure hope you don't have a trans kid. The answer could be, I'm trans because I don't feel comfortable as the gender I was born with. That's not why, though. That's, again, Fien, that's not the answer to why. Why are you trans? The answer, if it existed, would be something like, fate decided this for me, or God decided this for me. Why? There is no answer, okay? What is that I don't feel comfortable as the gender I was assigned? Also, born as is not the correct way to say that, because I was born a girl, okay? You can say, what are you feeling? And they can say, I don't feel comfortable as the way that people assume my gender to be. Okay? Very, very different line of questioning. And if you truly believe them, it wouldn't matter why. It would not matter. You feel comfortable speaking on this as someone who didn't know they were trans until later in life? Absolutely. Why could differ from person to person? No. There is no why. There is no why. There is no why. Okay? If you ask why someone is trans, the answer is no one knows. And you can't ask a kid that without them also saying. You can ask what? You can ask, what are you feeling? How can I help? Tell me more. These are all super valid questions that I would encourage you to ask. But if you don't believe them, you might ask why. Thank you, Amanda, for subscribing. Oh, Noah. Thank you. Once we're done with this conversation, my friend, you're one of these people who, you keep telling yourself what you're telling yourself. But I think the question, why do you feel this way? No. Why do you feel this way? Like, why do I feel gender dysphoria? Because I'm trans. There's no, like, again, what are you feeling is a very different question from why are you feeling this? Or why are you trans? Very, very different. Okay? Asking why someone is telling them why. Yeah, like, we all know the viral, or some of us, why are you gay? You know that clip? It's I want to say probably from Africa. There's like this like very Christian conservative guy who's got some, I believe, lesbian woman on their talk show. And he says to her, why are you gay? And you can just tell, and I know it's funny, but like, he's asking this because he doesn't believe that she's gay. Why are you gay? Right? You don't say, why are you trans? You can ask, what are you feeling? But if you tell me, why are you trans? Like, immediately my assumption is you don't believe in the concept of being trans. Thank you, Danielle. Is the same as being straight or gay? You are. There's no answer. Why are you gay? Because you can ask what you're feeling, right? Like a gay, a boy who is gay might say, what am I feeling? I'm feeling attracted to other people of my, other men or boys, whatever. That's what. It's not why. It's different. Very different. Asking a cis person would be, why are you cis? The answer would be, I just am. Exactly. Same as trans people. We don't have an answer because there isn't one. Correct. That's what am I assuming, Fian? I thought turning on the comment sub only. You assume I don't understand. I don't understand what? Stella, I don't answer DMs. Best to have the question answered here. Can we do a fit check? We can do a quick fit check. Do we want to do a quick fit check? Look, I'm not budging on this. If you say, why are you the way you are? The person is just going to say, I am. You assume I don't understand why you feel trans. No one knows why I am trans. If you, Fian, have the answer on why people are trans, you're going to win the gosh darn Nobel Prize. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There is no explanation on why this happens. No. If you happen to know it, please let us know. But I'm assuming you really don't. You can ask someone. You probably know what the feeling is, right? You could say like gender dysphoria. You could say, well, it is gender dysphoria, right? That is the core feeling of being trans is gender dysphoria. But why? That's a very different question. But asking a straight person why they're straight, they'd say because they're attracted to the opposite gender. Aria, that's incorrect, okay? If you ask a straight person, why are you straight? The answer is not because I'm attracted to people of the opposite gender. No, that's what do you feel as a straight person? What do you feel is attraction to the other gender? Why do you feel is, why am I straight? Because I was born that way, which is really not an answer either. Why is, you could say, God made me this way, fate made me this way, chance, destiny, it could be anything, but we don't have the answer to why. What happened to make us exist? You could say the Big Bang Theory. Why do we exist? Very different question. Noah just doesn't want to be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and block Noah. But you weren't born transgender. There it is, Fian. This is your core misunderstanding, because absolutely all trans people are born trans. You showed your hand, Fian. Look it up, my friend. Everyone's born trans. Who is trans? Lily, do you never read DMs? I don't read DMs. I'm sorry. Do you think God made me trans? I don't really believe in God, so maybe not. Fate, destiny, chance, probably chance. Why is it so hard to understand the difference between why and what? So as a baby, you knew you were trans. As a baby, I wasn't making memories. As a baby, I was mostly concerned with food and sleep. No one knows anything as a baby. That doesn't mean like if you asked a baby who is just born, are you left or right-handed? They're going to be like, goo goo gaga. I don't know what you're saying, right? They don't really have consciousness in the same way that we as adults do. They're not like thinking thoughts other than cry, food, diaper. But that doesn't mean that that child isn't left or right-handed. If you ask a child, like, what color is your hair? They're going to first off say goo goo gaga, but they probably also don't know because they don't have hair yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that doesn't mean that their hair color isn't going to be a certain way. It exists day one. Gender is developed in the brain as a toddler. Incorrect. Gender expression.
I wanted to send a little muse for you. This is
this is so sweet. Thank you.
With
so
a
much.
red cherry butter.
Appreciate it. I love your jacket.
Thank you very
Where'd you
much.
get it?
I bought it at Macy's, actually.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Oh, we got a free little cornbread. Isn't that fun?
You couldn't come and not taste the cornbread.
I
So,
agree. I agree.
You know,
Thank you for the cornbread. I
you're
appreciate
so
you. Thank you. What are you trying to understand, Aria? Yeah, again, gender doesn't like become one way or another. It's not like one day you decide as a toddler or something imprints on you. Your gender is fixed from day one. Now, you will discover it as you grow, just like you don't become left or right-handed by circumstance. You don't become gay or straight by circumstance. You just are. You are. What's on top of the cornbread? This is a red Thai curry butter. Red Thai curry butter. This is Ayesha's fresh baked cornbread. Once again, this is Ayesha Curry's restaurant. If you don't know Ayesha Curry, she is Steph Curry's wife. And she's one of the two people that owns this restaurant. And this is her signature cornbread. So let's give it a shot. Can y'all see that steam? Oh, thank you, Michelle. And we'll do a fit check in just a second once I try this. Here we go. It's a Thai, on top is a Thai curry butter. Fit check. This is my fit. And then I also have this jacket, which I'm going to go ahead and put on because I'm a little chilly. No, that's fine, HD. I get it. But like, I hope you can understand why I can be defensive sometimes. Because not only am I personally under attack in the comments, look at the state of the world, right? These are concepts that even if you don't understand them, people's lack of understanding and not getting it is causing a lot of suffering right now. So I hope you can understand why we are, as a community, in some ways, desperate for people to understand. And when we get into these like heated conversations, it's like, why can't you just believe us? You know, we're not like trying to get one over on you. There's plenty of times where we have calm conversations, but if you're, and this is not you, but like Noah, for example, or Fear, if you come at me with like misinformation that you're like certain is true, I'm going to come at you with, no, you're wrong. No, like, you are wrong. Jeans are flattering. Thank you. We got bacon cheddar cornbread yesterday. Ugh, that's awesome. What's cornbread? Cornbread is, it's bread made from corn. I don't know what to tell you. It's like a sweet, mealy bread. It's like instead of flour, it's like a muffin, but instead of flour, it's going to be corn flour, I think. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here, could you put it right here so we can see it? All right, y'all. Get ready. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Come on, y'all. That was cool. Smoke it. So these are the bao buns. That was a very, very fancy thing to just happen here. We also just got a gift that I would like to read. Would I pick? These are barbecue Peking smoked duck bao buns, and then cornbread. Are the bao buns doughy? I'm not sure. They look really good. Bao buns are, I believe, rice buns. I could be wrong. Maybe they're flour. What are bao made out of? Thank you to Samantha who sent 20. Or excuse me, not Samantha. I misread. That's from another message. This is from Kimchi. My bad. Kimchi sent $20. Thank you, Kimchi. By the way, there is a dog in my apartment complex named Kimchi. Not drawing any comparison between you two there, other than the name. It is the cutest dog I've ever seen in my entire life. Plays relatively well with Nugget for being a puppy. Anyways, thank you, Kimchi. Kimchi sent $20, and they sent in the message a cherry emoji, a strawberry emoji, a dual pink heart emoji. Said, enjoy your lunch. With love, Kimchi. Thank you, Kimchi. That's so sweet. Thank you for supporting the stream. I know today's stream is a little heated. A lot of times, especially when sub only is on, it's a lot more chill. It's not super heated, but you know, it's like when you see the news, and we try to keep current events for the most part out of this stream, but like what's happening in the UK, trans people being denied passports, like all these things, like a huge amount of discrimination happening. I can get frustrated sometimes when people argue the semantics of how we accept trans people, right? Like the answer is, and I've always been like this. I've always been very confrontational. I've always been very strong-willed, stubborn, you could say. When you see what's happening in the world to my people, and have people being like, well, like, why don't I just ask them why they're trans? I was like, what we need right now is for people to fight for us, right? And not like argue the semantics of like what they believe the trans experience is. What's happening is bad. Didn't seem he was listening. Yeah, I don't think he was listening at all. I think he came to argue a point, and I probably realized that a little too late. Trans people should not have to carry the weight of advocating and fighting for acceptance. I agree, Kimchi, and thank you again for the gift. But someone's got to do it. It's a battle. It's a war, and you know sometimes it gets heated. At the end of the day, my goal is to make allies, to make new allies. But if someone like Noah, who there's some of these like LGBs who are lesbian, gay, bi, great. Not so much into trans people, right? Or like, just a little bit, critical of trans people, but like, oh, they're fine. Like, no. We need to all be on the same page. And arguing semantics kind of gets us nowhere. So probably on me for even getting into that. You changed your description from a good critic. I don't know what that means, Jesse. Oh, a food critic? I mean, I'm a critic because I eat food at restaurants, so I would say I'm a food critic. I'm not like classically trained, but I eat at restaurants 4+ times a week and critique the food. So yeah. That's so good, y'all. This cornbread is excellent. This is a 10 out of 10 cornbread for sure. Ayesha, if you're watching, well done. Well done, Ayesha. All right, let's try these bao buns. Also, fancy. Also, what is this again? This is, I believe, called the Turning a New Leaf. It has a ritual tequila alternative. So once again, 0.0% alcohol, lime, passion fruit, and Amalfi spritz. What's on top of the cornbread is a Thai chili butter, right? Thai curry butter. Very good. It's
How's the first bite?
So freaking good.
Yeah,
Thank you again for that cornbread.
Yeah,
I
for
understand. Sure. I should have gone for it. It has Ayesha's name on it, but I appreciate you making it happen.
Yeah, no worries.
This is really good too. I don't really taste the tequila alternative as much, but there is a very complex flavor profile happening that you really don't get in a lot of mocktails. Is good. Looks so good. Did I used to drink alcohol? I did, but it was never really a huge problem for me, but I prefer not to now. Hello, Nick. Is the rind, is it time? It is time, but there's no flavor of, is it time? I think it's time. Yeah. Ooh. But it doesn't really impact the taste of the drink, so I'm not mad at it. Okay, let's try this. This is a Peking smoked pork belly bao bun. So it's a very like soft and smushy steamed bun. Inside is pickled cucumber. That looks like a jalapeno. Yeah, I see the pickled cucumber. They're in there. Scallions. It's like an onion. Pork rinds. I see that. And then barbecue hoisin sauce. So let's try this. Aren't pickled cucumbers just pickles? I hear you. I hear you. I would agree. Depending on who you talk to, yes. But not in the UK. In the UK, they're called gherkins, right? And that, because yeah, we do for some reason call all pickles or cucumbers unless otherwise specified. Like you can pickle something, but you have to say like pickled okra. Ooh, thank you, Nick. That was a fancy one. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Mm. That's really good. That was really, that was a cute gift. Thank you, Nick. That was really good. There's a pickle here called gherkins. Oh, where you are in your state? I was not aware. Wow, that's a really, really great bite. I mean, super well balanced. The bao is super fluffy and soft. The pork itself is pork, right? Pork belly, yeah. Chewy and tough, but not in an unpleasant way, in a very pleasant way. I'm a big fan. Sweet pickles, ew. Like bread and butter pickles, I don't like bread and butter pickles. It's sweet, but not too sweet. Thank you, Sasquatch, for subscribing. By the way, I changed the goal to 800 for the sushi train stream. So in 39 subscriptions, we're getting sushi. Wow. Are you in the Bay Kimchi? You should absolutely come try this place. Also, if you like Peking duck, in Chinatown, there is a new-ish pizza place called Out of Sight Pizza. It's the Out of Sight Pizza 2 because it's their second location. And because it's in Chinatown, unlike their original location, they're in Chinatown and they do a Peking duck pizza and it's wonderful. Wow. That's really, really good, y'all. It's so well balanced. And you know, sometimes you have like the whole smoke thing, which they did, and it's kind of just for show, and it is, but the smoke flavor comes through. You had duck once and it was a bad experience? Really? What happened? What happened? Hello, Moore. Thank you for subbing. 38 away from a sushi stream. By the way, did anyone do any research on like Disney restaurants to go to? I haven't had time yet. I've been super busy. That smoke flavor hits you like a ton of bricks. Like, boom. But then it comes in with like the savory and the meatiness, the acidity and sweetness of the pickles, the crunch of the jalapeno. Very pillowy. How long do I take to eat out at a restaurant? It depends. So good.
Melts in your mouth, right?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll ask my sister. She's there all the time. Cool. Did you say, yes, I am going to Disney World in Florida next month. Next month. What other platforms do I share my content on? I'm on, well, as far as income goes, depends, but I'm on a bunch of other platforms. TikTok's my main platform, though. It would make me nervous not having a steady paycheck. Makes me nervous all the time, which is why y'all supporting the stream is, I feel so grateful for it because it is the closest thing I have to like a quote unquote paycheck. Should I do that? I'm doing it, but should I do it? We'll see. Part of me though says I don't want to not do something because of bigots. I want to like wear my big girl boots, walk into Florida and be like, hey, I'm here. Be nice. And then have fun. I don't know, Rain. People talk about that like every couple months and it never seems to happen. So, can I share my total budget? Yeah. It was a little over $2,000 for both the hotel and the tickets. 5 days, 6 nights. It was another $500 or $600 for the plane ticket, and probably be another like $400 or $500 for the dog sitter, and then all of the incidentals. Thank you, Lydia, for subscribing. Am I going alone? Not necessarily. I have some friends lined up to come and visit. Thought you said it wasn't safe. It's not necessarily the safest place to be. But also, I want to go to Disney World. I really want to stream at Epcot. Thank you again. That's so delicious. I can't believe, how long ago did this open?
Oh, November 2017.
Really?
We've been open since
I've just been, have you been here since then?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, are you wearing colored contacts?
No, my eyes are blue.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
thanks.
That's your natural color?
Yeah.
You probably get that all the time.
I do, yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
it's like Dune, like the people on Dune.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's you.
It also depends on what I wear, you know?
Fair.
So, yeah.
Fair.
Drink good?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
Far, so good.
Thank you.
You're not full yet, are you?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Just for tickets and hotel. Well, tickets and hotel are a little over $2,000. Yeah, it's a Disney hotel, but it is the cheapest one. Would your mother not come up to stay with Nugget to save you money? Nugget can't. My mom flying from the East Coast to California wouldn't really save money. Hello, Brittany. I'm an hour from Disney. Oh yeah. Well, if you can make it to Disney, send me a DM. Insta DM. As a lesbian, I felt super safe in Disney. That's good. That's good. I hope that everything goes up without a hitch. Goes off without a hitch. It's hard to find a good pet sitter. It really is. Can you explain the Target DEI issues? All I remember is that when someone got elected, thank you so much. Could I have some mayo as well,
It's a little warm, okay?
Perfect.
Just regular mayo?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you. All I remember is that Target was one of the companies, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they rolled back their DEI policies, as a lot of companies did, to kind of like kowtow to the chief, which is dumb. No, not on TikTok. Not on TikTok, Nick. Do it on Insta, because my DMs are closed on TikTok because it's a dumpster fire. Okay, y'all. This is a... Let me read you the description. This is a spicy, crispy chicken sandwich with yuzu slaw on the sandwich. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Yuzu slaw, dill pickles, sriracha mayo, and duck fat fries. At first they didn't, but then they came in. First they didn't. Felt it immediately money-wise? I feel like I'm missing half of y'all's comments. Oh. At first they didn't, but then they did the DEI rollbacks. Got it. And then they felt it money-wise. Yeah, I sure hope so. Any company that does that deserves to feel some. Cheers. Wow. Okay. So how do we want to tackle this? I don't think that I can eat the whole thing. Thank you, Danielle. I will try for half. Do we want to cut it down the middle? Yeah, I don't shop there anymore either. Do we want to cut it down the middle? Thank you, Maggie. Or should I just go for it? It might be easier if I cut it down. Oh, you know what? Let's cut it down the middle because I think I'll be able to show y'all a cross section more easily. Thank you.
Cheers. Enjoy.
Thank you. I almost said you too. Always fun when Mama Tino comes to Disney. She might come, actually. We have talked about it. It's a definite possibility that she might come. I think probably partially because she's worried herself about me being in Florida, and I can't blame her. And also just because we did it last year and we had fun. And Florida is much closer to her than California, and because we as a family before I graduated used to live in Florida, we have friends there. So in theory, she could come and visit and stay in the hotel I got and maybe come to Disney or maybe just hang out with her friends. So, all right, here is the cross section. So once again, spicy, crispy chicken sandwich with yuzu slaw. It's almost kind of hard to see the chicken in there just because the slaw is so... All right, there it is. There we go. That's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Will this trip cut into bottom surgery funds? It could, but I consider it an investment. That is quite nice. I'm pretty sure they must brine this chicken. Yeah, it's really good. Very flavorful. Are there any Eastern European restaurants? Yeah, there are. There's a Ukrainian restaurant not too far. It's a counter service restaurant. And we tend to go more table service, but Eastern, like Russian, I'm sure there are. Can we get a fit check in a little bit? I am still going on a cruise this summer, yes. But luckily, that is a family cruise. So my parents have very kindly paid for that cruise. Wow. How much was what, Marin? That's really nice. Ayesha? It's a Caribbean cruise. I don't need to leave the boat. I just like the boat. I like staying on the boat. I've left the boat. We used to go on cruises a good amount as a family. I've always preferred staying on the boat. I like hanging out near the pool. Marin, I don't know what you're asking. Wow, that's good. All right, y'all, we're going to do fancy sauce. It's been a while since I've done this. Take some mayo. You put it in the ketchup. And then you mix it up until it is one ketchupy mayo-y sauce. How much is the meal? I'm not sure yet. That's at the end. We do the guessing game. But if you stick around, we will find out. Fry sauce? Okay. I've heard fry sauce, fancy sauce, mayo chup. We have a spicy chicken sandwich right now. Pink sauce? Interesting. Y'all, we got... Oh, wow. Wow. Dang, this is sweet. Make sure I didn't miss any before. No. Dang. That is really, really nice. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I don't know if this person wants me to say their name, so I'm going to say anonymous. All right? Do I prefer 2 or 1-piece swimsuits? I'm not opposed to either. Did you not get a menu? I did, but again, Aaron, we guessed the cost at the end, so I'm not going to tell you now. Ketchoy. Will I stream on the cruise? If there's service, I will. Like, good enough service. Y'all, this anonymous person, get those gas tanks ready. Sent $100. This is our second $100 gift of this stream. Just going to let that sit for a second, because that's huge. That's huge. Like, the meal has been paid for, okay? What y'all are doing now is chipping away at the Disney trip, which, again, it's expensive. But I'm doing it because I want to go. I think y'all will really enjoy it. I think it'll be worth it. And this is the message they sent. Hello, Kate. Yeah, throw those gas tanks up. It's a really sweet message, too. They said, hey friend, I've had a lot of crazy things going on, so I've been in and out a lot the past 2 weeks. You're all good. This is towards the Disney trip. Love you, with 2 pink heart emojis. Dang. Yes, Disney cutie says Disney. Exactly. That's right in your ballpark. Wow. Well, thank you again. That is huge. It absolutely chips away at the Disney trip. Um, I don't know what to say, y'all. Y'all, like, this is why I can do this. This is why I'm able to do this with y'all, is because of generosity like our anonymous friend. I wouldn't have it any other way. I am so committed to doing this forever, and for y'all, that we're going to Florida. A month ago, you wouldn't have caught me in Florida. But then once I got this idea of like, wouldn't Epcot be fun? You know what? Screw the bigots. We're going, whether they like it or not. And we're going because of y'all. I can't just go on my own. I need y'all with me. So thank you, anonymous friend. Appreciate you. I hope everything is okay in your neck of the woods. You said you've been in and out a lot lately. So I hope that doesn't mean anything's wrong. Because, you know, I love you. Can't wait. Hope you are, Lily, you are actually sweet. I hope you have the best time. Thank you, Lydia. And yeah, Disney Cutie, give me tips. Thank you, Casey. All right, these are duck fat fries, so they fry them in duck fat. Why do I always say Opa? It's just like a fun way of celebrating that someone subscribed. They say it in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. It's like a, ooh, Opa. Okay. Okay. I'm listening, Ayesha Curry. There was some flavor there. Definitely a different oil, for sure. You can tell. Like right off the bat, there's a different flavor, not in a bad way. A little bit of like a gaminess, but not in a bad way, in a good way. And then, of course, I don't know if you can see from here, but these fries have like a green, I'm assuming, what kind of fries? They're duck fat fries. They have some sort of like green seasoning on them. What herb is that? It's not cilantro. It's not basil. I'll have to ask. Remind me next time when our server's here to ask what herb this is on it, on the fries. It could be like a thyme or a rosemary, for all I know. Parsley, maybe it's parsley. Parsley sounds right. Oh, this sandwich is so stinking good, y'all. What the heck? We got to come back here. Basil, I don't think it's basil. Whatever it is, it's good. It could be chives, Kimberly. Here I am sniffing a French fry. What is my life? Lily Tino, professional French fry sniffer. You do pasta next. I'm not opposed to it. You don't like chicken reheated? I don't mind chicken reheated, but I get what you mean by too chickeny. How goofy does this look? Oh yes, the fries. I don't think I can do the second half. It's good. It's great even. I can't do a second half. In order to keep... Calm down, Seth. In order to keep space in my tummy for a dessert and not to be too uncomfortably full, we're going to have to press pause on this, but it is very good. And of course, I'll get it to go with this wonderful cornbread. I think I might want another bite of this. Now, there are dessert options here, y'all. A couple. Two, in fact. Y'all ready? Thank you, Taylor, for subscribing. Opa, thank you so much. We're now, what, 36 away from the sushi stream? That's cool. Okay. There is a fresh baked chocolate chip walnut cookie. That sounds pretty good. And then there is also a key lime pie. It has chantilly and lemon curd. That's just like whipped cream, basically, and a lemon curd. Oh, thank you, Taylor. That's very sweet of you. A lot of hate out there. How much did you miss? A good amount of it, Kenzie, but we're talking about dessert now. Lydia says the cookie. For some reason, I am drawn to the cookie. But we can ask our server and see what they think. You think key lime pie? Key lime sounds great. We could try both. No, that's not true. We can't try both. I said that and didn't mean it because I don't want both. Dessert doesn't go to the stomach but to the heart. Now, Kenzie, wise words. Wise words. I think if it were just me, I'd go for the cookie because you so rarely see a chocolate chip walnut cookie. I love key lime pie too. I'm not, and yesterday we almost got what would have been a margarita cheesecake, which would have been pretty similar, but instead it ended up being strawberry. So we're not like necessarily, we'll have to ask. We'll have to ask. The cookie, we'll do a poll just because I'm curious. Smile for cookie, frown for key lime. Smile for the walnut chocolate chip cookie, frown for the key lime pie. I'm not going to abide by this necessarily, but I'm curious where y'all's heads are at, or where your stomachs are at, I should say. I said smile for cookie, right? I said smile for cookie. Right? The other thing is, like, for the business lunch, the to-go dessert is a cookie. So they've included, of the two desserts, they've included the chocolate chip walnut cookie in their business lunch, which makes me think maybe it's a signature dessert. Maybe. I said smile for cookie. Okay. Sometimes I say it and then forget it. And then I'll say it again in a different way, and it's like, oops. Oh, oopsie. This is a wonderful restaurant. Why have we not been here sooner? I was just walking here yesterday on our way to the Mexican-Italian place. And out of nowhere, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this place. And for some reason, never come here. This could be a regular place for us. There are other things we still need to try. Like there's I didn't even read the mains to you. They have a SF garlic noodles and shrimp. The wall's neat behind me. I agree. They have gochujang salmon. Okay, that's like a spicy sweet salmon. They have the chicken sandwich, which we got. They have a double Wagyu burger. Fancy. They have a Korean style, in quotes, beef bowl. They have crispy, sticky ribs, which is what the server recommended to me right off the bat. Sweet chili and Vietnamese slaw. Could be good. And then they have a Caribbean spiced chicken rice bowl and a rib tip mac and cheese. Rib tip mac and cheese also. Sounds good. Contains shellfish. Maybe there's shrimp in there. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds good. It all sounds good. And then they also, on the business lunch and the business lunch only, have an all-spiced pumpkin soup. Could be good. Very yum. Final sub only. Haha, I left and came back. Welcome back, RP. How you doing? Okay. I are a little quiet here, which is totally fine. I'm going to open the floodgates just for a minute or two, see what's up. Not going to eat the fries. I had some fries. I'm just picking at it. We're taking some home because I want to leave room for dessert. I think it's important. Hello, everybody. I'm going to have a little bit more cornbread, too, because the cornbread was really good. I subbed this morning. First time subbing? Well, thank you, Cody. Appreciate you subbing. Thank you. It's fry sauce in Utah. Fair enough. Connor says, do you think I'll have a great time in Disney? I hope so. I think I will, too. Yeah, everyone behave. Is the sandwich spicy? Yeah, there's spice in it, for sure. Have you ever thought, oh, God. Is the sandwich, yes, it is definitely spicy, but I also have a pretty high spice tolerance, so there's nothing about this sandwich that is too spicy for me, but the spice is there. Oh, thank you, Maddie. I'm excited for the Disney streams, too. Hello, Violetta. How you doing? What's the dipping sauce? Just like a ketchup and mayo thing. Am I trans? I am. Let's see if we can flag down our server. It looks like they're doing their side work right now. We're putting away wine glasses. See if we can ask. How am I trans? Interesting question. Oh, there you are. I'm between the cookie and the key lime pie. Those are the two desserts, right?
For lunch, yes. Oh, the cookies.
Cookie.
Cookie, hand down, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Do you want me to box this?
I would love that, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And could you, maybe I can just kind of pop that on there.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Easy peasy. I'll have a bunch of spots to go to Epcot. I don't do DMs, Connor, but if you want, you can put them right here. Please let me know. Hello, Allison. Yeah, they said cookie. I want to gift, but I don't want to get called out. Sure, just say it in the subject line, and I will keep an eye out for it. Oh, thank you very much, Toro. Do I dye my hair? Yeah, I do. It's normally just brown, but it's a little bit redder, a little reddish. Thank you, Fatima. Someone said, I understand you're trans, but you have to be way more kind when you get misgendered. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, someone said I have to be more kind when I get misgendered. I don't have to. I don't have to do anything. If you misgender me, that hurts my feelings. And it's my right to respond however I want. Now, I can respond and be super rude about it. I can respond and be nice and generous about it. But you don't get to decide how I respond to these things. The name of the place is called International Smoke. It is Ayesha Curry's restaurant. Would I go blonde with straight hair? That would be so much work, so probably not. Would I get vocal feminization surgery? No. Since you're trans, do I go to the women's bathroom or the men's? I go to the women's room because I am a woman. Women go to the women's room. I'm a woman, therefore I go to the women's room. Don't ever get blonde. It's so expensive. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's illegal for trans people to use the bathrooms. Well, in that case, Florida's going to have to be ready for me because I am only using the women's bathroom there. Get used to it. Ayesha and Steph Curry, are they? No, they're not anti-trans. Are they really? Oh, no. Is that true? Can someone fact check that for me? Hello, Kim. Let's see. Favorite TV show at the moment? I'm watching Top Chef. I shouldn't be in the women's bathroom. Why is that? Why is that? They have a trans child, so no. Oh, okay. I cannot find that. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. That's good. That's good. Someone said not being transphobic, but UPMO, which we know what that stands for. If you ever start a sentence with, I'm not transphobic, but stop. Immediately stop what you're saying. If you have a sentence that you're formulating in your brain and out of your mouth comes, I'm not transphobic, but stop it right there. Stop it right there. Cut your losses. Walk away from the sentence. I'm not transphobic, but walk away from the sentence. Good. They have another restaurant in Vegas. Okay, gotcha. Post-surgery, can I put my nose rings back in once the swelling is down, which is going to be a while. We're on the dessert. Is there a unisex bathroom, or would I wait for I will use the women's bathroom. Yeah. My mom always told me if someone says something but, like, I'm not racist, but I'm not transphobic, but I'm not homophobic, but, like, oh, okay, you actually are whatever it is that you're saying you're not. Do you think there should be trans-specific bathrooms? No, that's just sidestepping the issue. If it's not bathrooms, it'll be sports. If it's not sports, it'll be something else that we're doing wrong. The issue is actually nothing to do with bathrooms, because what they're saying we do in bathrooms, terrorize people, harass people, none of it's true, right? If you make trans-specific bathrooms, in some ways you're admitting that these things or suggesting that these things are true, right? Which is not true. And then maybe even worse, you're allowing the people who are fighting against trans rights to feel like they're justified, like they're right, like they've won, which they shouldn't feel. So no, I'm absolutely against trans-centric bathrooms, trans-specific bathrooms. Also, history-wise, the last time we had segregated bathrooms didn't turn out so well. What's something you already change about yourself? I don't know what that means. Something I've already changed that makes me feel more feminine. My hair, maybe. My hair is nice. Oh, okay, they're to go. Very nice. Thank you. Ooh, oh my God, they're so soft.
They just came out of the oven.
Oh, heck yeah. Thank you. And I'll take the check whenever you're ready.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. If you don't mind me asking, when did you realize who you are now? Thank you, Gracie. It was October 20th, 2020. When I was 27, approximately 4.5 years ago. 4.5? Am I doing my math right? Yeah, something like that. All right, here we go. These are chocolate chip walnut cookies. And y'all, they are warm. Look at this. There's two. They're stuck together. You can barely even get them apart. Look at this. Look at that. You ready? Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, sorry, just another face. I did eat already. It's good. Needs milk? Sure, but even on its own, it's real good. I'll wash it down with my mocktail. Thank you, Melissa. Am I doing anything else after this? Like streaming wise? I don't know. That's really nice. Did I have a problem with alcohol before? Not a huge problem, but I just started like even towards the end, it was like even one drink would make me feel like crud the next day. So I just stopped. What time is it there? It is 1:44 p.m. Get your own bathroom. It's uncomfortable for women. First off, if you're uncomfortable, that's your problem. I'm not there to do anything other than pee. So unless you don't believe me, which is also your problem, why are you worried? There's nothing to be worried about. Just let us pee in peace. I have a friend that's transitioning. Is there any advice you can give me to help her? Sure. Get their name right. Practice if you need to. Get their pronouns right. You can practice in the mirror for like a minute and you'll be fine. Beyond that, you don't need all the answers for them, right? I think there might be an instinct to like hit the books and figure it out and like, be ready for anything your friend might experience. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But at the end of the day, all you really need to do is be their friend, like you would for anyone else. Check in on them. How you doing? Hang out with them. Do you want to hang out? Send them funny memes. Do whatever it is that you would do with any other friend, and everything else will fall into place. Like they can come to you with issues, but also like it's not like that's the one thing they'll ever need your friendship for, right? Being a friend means that you're a friend for the entire person. And some days you might not talk about stuff at all. So yeah, just be a good friend. That's really all it is. And make sure you get their name and pronouns right, and you'll be fine. Do you believe that children can be trans? Absolutely. Trans people do not become trans. We are born trans. What about locker rooms? Again, what are you worried about? What's your concern? We're just there to change. Would I be uncomfortable in a men's locker room? Yes, because I'm not a man. Why would you be uncomfortable with me in a locker room with you? Do you think I'm going to do something weird? Specifically, do you think I'm going to do something weird? Because the answer, I can tell you, whether you believe it or not, is no. Seeing certain body parts, I mean, okay. What if someone is triggered by the body parts opposite of mine? What if there was someone who is, we'll say, because I think that's what you're implying, essayed by another woman? Then seeing those body parts might be triggering. There's nothing, like, we can't police what is triggering for you. By and large, what this argument is a suggestion that trans women are up to no good, which is simply not true. We're just going to pee in the bathroom and change in the locker room. We're not there to talk to you. We're not there to look at you. We're not there to do anything other than get our business done. Okay? So ultimately, if you are uncomfortable with someone like me in your locker room, that is a you problem. Because I've told you, we're only there to change. So unless you don't believe me, which once again is a you problem, what's the problem?
How was the cookie?
Wonderful.
Right there, whenever you're ready. No hurry, okay?
Thank you. So here, let me give it to you now. I know you got. I see all the side work happening.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Not seeing a whole lot of great questions. My favorite sauce? Probably ketchup and mayo mixed together. Sorry, Lila. Thank you, Koala. Do I have a trans icon that inspires me? I have a lot of trans content creator peers who I look up to. I don't hear the same concerns for lesbians in the locker room. Exactly, right? Because I think a lot of bigots see lesbians as like a lesser evil, right? Like, okay, fine, y'all can be in it, but we don't like trans people. We'll fight against them. We're done giving y'all trouble. Not that that's always the case, because lesbians get plenty of trouble. Thank you so much. Y'all are so great. I definitely will.
All right, awesome. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. All right. Oh, this is sweet. They comped a few things here. That's really nice of them. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn on sub-only chat. There we go. Let's do this. So we have, let me do the tip really quick. All right. Okay. How much? Let me do the math here so I can give you. So they comped the drink, which was very nice of them. Did Ayesha invite me to eat there? No, she didn't. Ayesha and I are great friends. No, I'm just kidding. I've never met Ayesha before, nor do I think she knows of my existence. They comped the drink. They comped, well, they brought out the cornbread without me asking, which was very sweet of them. The only things they charged me for were the pork belly, the smoked ones, and the sandwich, which is so sweet of them. Brought it to a total of blah, blah, blah. I tipped about %50, 50. Go ahead and guess. Including tip. Go ahead and guess. And the closest person wins. All right. I see who's closest so far, I think. 50% on the original, on the comp total. 50% on the comp total. All right. So far, there is one person who I believe is closer by a pretty decent amount to anyone else that I can see. I think they're within $1 or so. Okay, a few more seconds. And we're there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner. This might be their first victory. I'm not sure. Wait, let me try. Yeah, I think this might be their first win. If it's not their first win, it's definitely up there. I should tip. You know what? You're right, Nicole. I should tip. I was planning on not tipping, but then I decided to tip. Poppy! On the original total, that is customary. Well, let me tell you, Nicole. How about once you learn how much I did tip, you tell me if it's not justified. You don't think you can accept the prize today? Why not? Yeah, I never think about tipping. I mean, they're servers. They're disgusting. Servers, let me be clear. Servers are gross. Ew. Now, as someone who makes their livelihood by going to restaurants and interacting with servers, I work hard to have a reputation as someone who speaks down to servers. God. Come on, y'all. Come on. Be real. With the very generous comps, the total was $47.80. I tipped $25 on top of that, bringing it to $72.80. Now, can I ask, why would I tip? That's what I'm saying. Why would I tip? They're servers. That's why I tipped $25. I kid. For any of you who are not catching the sarcasm, love servers. Literally, y'all see me interact. You see how generous my gifts are every day, and I just can't accept everything today? Wow. We did get some very generous gifts today. Well, I'll tell you what, Poppy. I will give you nothing to start. And how about instead of everything, I give you something? Something. Lily doesn't tip, right? Like literally every stream I tip. Like yesterday we tipped like $60. Come on now. You gladly accept. Will you take something? Dripping with sarcasm, exactly. But of course, this clip is going to end up somewhere and people are going to be like, wow. But then if they do that, I'm going to counter being like, actually, here's the full clip. Don't believe everything here. I do think I could take a little something home. Why don't you take a little something? Have a little something. Anchovy Sunday, you win an anchovy Sunday. You take a little something. You take a little something. Oh, I'm prepared, Shayla. I'm prepared. We love servers. Servers are awesome. I mean, you talk about the servers we've made friends with, lovely friends with over the couple years. We have Josephine. We have Jim. We have our new friend. Their name is Kaiser. We have Nikki. We have so many servers that we love. And we do our best to take care of it as much as I can in my capabilities to take care of a server. People see one video and they assume. Assumption. Yeah, they were great. Great server, great service, great food. We'll be back. Anchovy Sunday should be the prize every time. I'm not opposed to it. Janice will prepare my fingers for the next few streams. Do some finger lifts. Yeah, like the wall is nice, isn't it? Well, thank you to everyone who gifted today, especially. Well, actually, I think it was only 3 people, so I'll say your names again. It was an anonymous person. It was Kimchi, and it was. Did we have a name for that person, or were they anonymous? So Caroline. So thank you to y'all for making the stream happen. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate is maybe an understatement. Thank you to everyone who subbed today. Thank you to everyone who stayed subbed today. And thank you to my moderators. Moderators in particular, especially the first half of that stream, even once we went to sub only, there was some moderating to be done. So I appreciate y'all. I will be back on Thursday, as they would say in Ireland, Thursday, with more streams. And then we'll be inching ever closer to our Disney World trip, which I'm just so pumped for. For those of you who wanted to see Indian food today, I'm sorry. I promise we'll do Indian food soon. That is because actually I did some calling around in between this stream and to get ready with me this morning to Indian restaurants, and I found one that I did not realize would fit our needs. That has been there forever. We've never streamed at. So next time we call for Indian food, that's where we're going. It's pretty close to. So get excited for that. But Thursday I will be back with more streams. Anything to be done in the meantime? Any business that I don't think so. Butter chicken. I'm more of a tikka masala girl. My paneer tikka masala I prefer over butter chicken, but I do love butter chicken. I will not turn down butter chicken, but we'll see. Love you too, Kaylee. Unsure if you will survive. Wow, Poppy. Well, I guess I'll just check in on you on Thursday. Hopefully. Talk Thursday. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Until Thursday, you make dang sure. You better stay low.